Hi guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Nick Egan Times. We have two excellent guests together on this episode. We have Peter and Miranda Triantafilou, both who are high school sweethearts, which are now husband and wife and proud parents, proud Greek and American family people, proud professionals in both their respective industries. Peter, who works in supply chain at an aerospace company that builds aircraft engines, and Miranda, who is a respiratory therapist at an adult critical care hospital. Welcome, Peter and Miranda, and thanks for joining the show.
Happy
Thanks.
to be here.
Thanks, cuz. We're excited to be on the new podcast. I'm excited to talk with you.
As I am. I'm really excited that you both are on here. How's it all going over there?
It's going. It's been different. But yeah, we're all hanging in there. We're trying to find the positives from all of this, like you said before, working from home. Um, and stuff is allowing you to spend time doing other things. So
yeah,
I'm
it's
excited for that.
it's been interesting in the United States. Like, I think a lot of people have slowed down their lives a little bit, and I think we've definitely taken advantage of that, especially with COVID. Uh, there was a lot of going out, keeping up with, your big group of friends, going out to dinners constantly, going out, even for drinks and stuff. And that's, I'd say, definitely slowed down with COVID. So we've just been really focused on like our family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say Miranda and I have definitely kind of doubled down as well. And not only like our family, but our careers and just even some of like our side, the side business that my brother and I have. So, obviously, Miranda's been especially busy at the hospital as well with taking care of patients and stuff as she sees an increase in like the number of people that come in with some COVID complications. But yeah, I mean, I would say overall, I'm enjoying it personally. As crazy as it sounds, and I'm not enjoying seeing people obviously suffer, but I'm enjoying it just from the fact that we're spending a
Slower
lot
pace.
more family time together.
More like smaller, intimate, like groups now, instead of going out with big groups of different people. And it seems like we're always seeing the same people now, which we're more focused on like our close, immediate family.
Exactly. Yeah, and like we're also it's easier. Like we're eating a lot healthier. I'd say we're not going out to dinners as much, so we're seeing some of the benefits of that. And
Which I
just
think we tried to kind of like home cook and eat healthier all the time anyway, but
yeah,
it's definitely easier now because, well, everything was shut down for a while, but even it's just not the same to go out really.
yeah, exactly. So it's the world's in an interesting place, obviously, right? But we're just rolling with it and trying to make the best of the situation, which is what I feel like you have to do in life.
Yeah.
So how,
Terrific. That's great insights. Yeah.
how are
For the
things over?
listeners,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's obviously had its challenges. Obviously, COVID isn't to the degree it is over there with the infection rates, but we still have our clusters and we're still getting mild cases every day. So it comes up and it goes down. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just the challenges of it, and you just got to control what you can control and do the best you can in life. So that's the way I see it.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Let's jump straight into it. For the listeners, who is Peter and Miranda Triantafilou?
That's right.
Yeah, I can start. So I would say, you know me pretty well, Nick, but for some of the listeners, born and raised in Midwestern United States, so from specifically Cincinnati, Ohio. Grew up around a big Greek family, very positive family. Mom and dad were always both very supportive of myself and my siblings, and no matter any interest that we had. But yeah, my dad kind of had a small business. My mom worked for a national corporate company. So we grew up. We had a pretty good pretty good growing up, and just I'd say I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed living in the Midwest. Obviously met Miranda in high school here in Cincinnati, and we've been together ever since. So definitely a big family guy. I enjoy business. I enjoy health and fitness. Those are some of my interests. But yeah, I would say that kind of sums it up.
Yeah. I'm very similar. So I grew up in the same city. We went to the same high school. We both stayed local for college. My parents are both still married as well, so family means a lot to me. And my mom was actually a stay-at-home mom. My dad always worked for like a big company. He worked for the Cincinnati Enquirer, which is where our main newspaper came from for years, and then that closed. Now he's working for like a big insurance company here called Great American. So very similar. Our dads actually went to the same high school, and a lot of our family just stayed on the west side. So we're both real close with our family.
That's crazy that you both parents went to high school together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They weren't in
yeah.
the same grade. His dad's actually like a couple years older than my dad, but yeah, they know a lot of the same people. And the west side over here, they always say like people just once they're born on the west side, they marry people on the west side and they stay on the west side. Like it's kind of like a joke because it is like it's in a big city. Obviously, Cincinnati, it's not a huge city, but it's like a smaller little town inside.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
west side is just so it's just different. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of like its own little city
Yeah, everyone
within a
kind of
city.
exactly. Yeah, everyone kind of knows each other over here. I'm sure there's pockets in your city too, but
Yeah.
that are similar. But yeah, we all kind of know each other. I'd say it's a comfortability thing too, right? Like our friends and family are all close, so it's
Yeah.
hard to wanna go somewhere else.
It's nice to have. His mom is 8 minutes away, and my mom's
Yeah,
3 minutes away. So with raising our kids too, it's just so nice to be that close to our family.
yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Great insights. Tell me about both your adorable little ones, both 1 and 3, I believe.
Yeah. So they're busy. They're busy ages, but they're so much fun, and just every day at that age, they're just learning and doing new things. So it's fun. We
Yeah,
stay super busy, but it's a good kind of busy.
yeah, exactly. Just to add on to that, they're truly like I think a lot of people and myself included, when you think about having kids, you really start to like question, there's obviously a piece of like selfishness that comes in there, and you kind of wonder like when you'll be ready, how you'll be as a parent, how you'll do with kids, and everyone kind of questions. It's a big decision, and quite honestly, I always had my reservations about it. And I think
And I
Miranda,
think that's where we're different. Because
yeah,
I always knew my whole life that like I just wanted to be a mom more than anything.
yeah, exactly. So, but once you have kids, it's an indescribable feeling. It's the best thing I'd say that's ever happened to me, having Anna and Mila, our 3-year-old and our 1-year-old. And like I said, Miranda, and like you just mentioned, always knew that she wanted children. I always knew that I wanted them. I just didn't know when. But yeah, they're little blessings from God. I couldn't be more grateful for them. And I would say the biggest thing about kids, which is very interesting, and it's something that I've come to learn, is they actually push you to become a better person,
For
all
sure.
around, and
Yeah.
just professionally, personally, everything.
They just give you motivation because
exactly.
you want their life to be better. We had great lives. I'm not saying like we didn't, but you just always want to push to like hit that next level because you just want your kids to have like everything, every opportunity. And
Yeah,
everyone feels that way. So,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and I will say, like, even though I knew I always wanted to be a mom, I kind of at the same time feel like no one's ever 100% ready. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, because it's such a huge lifestyle change,
Yeah,
and you have no idea what you're in for until you actually experience it. So, kind of like it's just one of those things where you
yeah,
can think you're ready, but no one's ever really ready.
yeah,
So.
exactly. And they're a lot to keep up with. We obviously both work full-time jobs, and then keeping up with them is and raising them and putting the time into your children to make sure that they're going to develop and have the right
Yeah.
opportunities is also it's like a second job or a second full-time
sure.
career.
Most important job.
Yeah, exactly. The most important one. One of which I would say Miranda puts more time in than me. So I'm thankful for that. So we have a little bit more of a traditional relationship between the two of us. But yeah, she's very much focused, and I am too.
You still are so involved, though, even more so than a lot of other dads that I know. Yeah, he's great.
But yeah,
that's excellent.
They're blessings. So
yeah, excellent. Take it back to obviously when you both met at high school. Talk about the story of how you guys met specifically, and how it's all transpired.
I don't know if I remember that far back, but no. We were in 10th grade?
Yeah. So we were sophomores or juniors in high school.
We had like the same kind of friend group.
We did.
Like my friends were friends with his friends, kind of thing. So we like kind of knew who each other were. But we didn't really get to start to know each other real well until, I don't know, like maybe a couple months in or something when we started. I would say we were best friends before we started dating. We were, don't you think?
Exactly. That's the perfect way to put it.
We were really good friends.
We were definitely really good friends before we started obviously dating and taking things more seriously. But yeah, we met in high school and like Miranda mentioned, it was through a group of mutual friends. And our friendship just kind of took off, and we both, I would say, had fun kind of perspective on life, and we both enjoyed the same things: family, friends, having a good time. I would say
we shared like the same values and everything. We just had a lot in common to begin with.
Yep, exactly. And I would say it's that also has been what I would call somewhat of a blessing or a blessing. You can meet in high school and people change so much. You see it happen all the time. People change so much from the ages of, 16 to even their early 20s to now we're in our early 30s.
And people should change. I mean, that's a part of growing. Like you want to change. You want to grow as a person. So we're just fortunate that we grew together. We didn't grow apart.
Yeah, but exactly.
I feel like if anything, we're more aligned now than we've ever been.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I mean, you like I said, you could meet in high school and obviously you're so young at the time and you don't know really what you want out of life per se or out of this world and we're very fortunate in the fact we both still share the same interests. We both are very focused on our family, that type of thing. So.
And we're both really close with each other's families, which helps a lot too. So
definitely. Yeah, we've been together for, what is it, close to 16, 17 years now. Almost. We've been together
together half our lives.
Yeah, we've been together more than we haven't been together in our lives.
I'm only 31, 30, and we've been together almost 16 years. So, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. That shows obviously the strength of your relationship and how many levels you've obviously grown from when you first met to where you are now in life. And that's, massive respect for that because, it's obviously a massive commitment to be so consistent. And obviously, as you both said, you're more aligned now than you were in the past. So that's quite amazing. And I have massive respect for you both.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt.
Peter, tell me, you are a proud Greek man. Obviously, we're cousins and I know you. Tell me about that, and you've traveled to Greece as well with the rest of the family, including obviously Miranda. Where was your favorite place to travel to as well?
Actually, I don't know if you knew this or not, but we did not actually get the chance to travel to Greece with the rest of the family. We
were going to. We had it. It was booked.
Yeah.
And we had to pull out at kind of the last minute.
Yeah.
We both had some stuff going on, and it was just like I don't know. I mean, it just wasn't a good year for us personally to leave the country.
Yeah. I had a pretty serious health issue come up, and then Miranda had just some complications with her pregnancy. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'd say definitely still a proud Greek guy. I love spending time around my family. Outside of even we still travel with our big Greek family. We go to Florida multiple times a year. With our family. I love spending time around them. Like I said, we didn't get the chance to actually to travel over to Greece, but yeah, I think that year though, just in general, I would say it was tough watching. I will talk about this. It was tough watching the rest of the family go to Greece and us not be there. One of my lifelong kind of interests or goals was to always travel to Greece with my family, and specifically with my grandmother, my Yaya. And I've always felt a very close connection with her, and obviously the rest of the family, but with her specifically. So it killed me not to go. But I would say while it was a tough year for us, and seeing that happen, that was also one of the best years of my life. I learned a lot about being, having gratitude and being thankful for the things you do have. It sounds crazy, but you see your whole family go to Greece, and a lot of people would feel potentially a lot of resentment or maybe anger they didn't get to join. But and I felt some of that at the time, but now looking back on it, we made the best decision for ourselves, for Miranda and I, due to kind of what was going on with the both of us.
And Mila, for sure, because I was pregnant with our younger daughter, Mila, at the time, and it was just better because I had some things going on with my pregnancy that it could have been, it would have been okay. I'm sure it probably would have been okay, but just to think of risking something, it's just not worth it. And
it's better to be safe than sorry.
She was born that year in October, and she's obviously the greatest thing ever. So that year was a blessing, and just him, like he was saying earlier with his health complications, I just saw him change so much in a good way as a person, and it was a big year for us. It was a milestone year, I would say.
Yeah.
In our lives. So
we did take our kids, our oldest one, to Disney that year, which we do enjoy that.
And that was special because it was just the three of us, and we don't go places like vacation, just the three of us, or just us and our kids very often.
Yeah.
So we're always with our big extended family. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I were to go to Greece, I've obviously, hearing from you guys, Santorini is amazing. So we still have plans to actually make it over there.
Yeah.
Not plans now. Obviously, there's some restrictions with COVID, but as soon as it opens up, Miranda and I are ready to take off, and with our family, with our kids, whoever else wants to join, the rest of the big Greek family, whoever wants to go, definitely hit Athens to kind of see where my grandma was born and raised, and then I would love to hit some of the islands. Seen obviously pictures, heard a lot about it. To me, I don't really have much interest personally in traveling around the world to go see different places. There's a few places.
I love to see different places and just different cultures, and I love history. So for me, I've always wanted to travel in general. It's not like I always had to go to Greece. I was more brokenhearted for him because his whole family was going. But we do, I would say we definitely want to go, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely have a strong interest in going over as soon as, like I said, some of the restrictions are lifted. I'm ready to go. I'd love to see Greece. There's a couple other places in the world I want to see. I'm not like I said, a big world traveler, but there's definitely a few places that I want to come visit you in Australia as well. I'd love to do that.
Love that.
I'm waiting. Come down. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, outside of that, quite honestly, I don't feel for me, I've got to feel kind of a connection to want to go do something. And Greece, obviously, I have a strong connection to. Coming to Australia or going to Australia, I think just because of you being there, I would have definitely some interest in that. Outside of that, quite honestly, I'm not too sure. Miranda will probably drag me to some places around.
I was going to say, he'll probably go because I'll want to go. But the good thing is I did some traveling on my own before we had kids. I went to not a ton of places, but I went to a couple places. So that was cool. I'm glad I did that because, like he said,
a couple places over in Europe.
Right. Yeah. So I went to the UK, so the city of London too. While I was there, I went to Paris. Where else did I go? Bath.
Ireland for a little bit. Right?
Ireland.
Yeah, you got to see a pretty fair amount of spots.
So I'm glad that I did that. And I've been to a decent amount of places in the U.S. I haven't been out west or anything, but I've been to New Orleans and Chicago and stuff like that too. And since he doesn't have that strong urge to travel, I'm glad I did that stuff on my own.
Miranda keeps when I say I'm not very interested in traveling, I personally don't have it's hard to describe, but I won't go seeking out travel.
You don't have like a need to
Miranda, Miranda will go, and she's scheduled plenty of vacations for us to go see different things, and I always have an absolute blast. So
we went
whenever
to the Bahamas together.
Yeah.
On our honeymoon.
But yeah, she kind of like will push me or show me interest in some places, and then I'll go and end up loving it. So while I don't seek it out on my own, she will seek things out, and then I always end up having a blast anyways. So
yeah, I totally get that. And to you, Peter, obviously touching on obviously not being able to go, I think too, when in the future when you do go with your young family, I think you'll even enjoy it more because obviously you'll make up for the lost time as well. So I think it's going to be great for you in the future as well.
Yep.
Agreed 100%.
Anticipation.
That, and I'm a big believer, and I think everything happens for a reason. You know, I think for whatever reason it just didn't work out that year, but there's always things to be thankful for in life. There was like a true sign
for us. We had two major things, so we took it as a clear sign that it wasn't our year. It wasn't our time to go.
Where's your favorite place in the US to go traveling to?
Oh, geez. See, I just love going to different places. I appreciate different places for different things that they offer. It's really hard for me. Siesta Key is like a second home to us.
Siesta Key in Florida.
It's a little island off Sarasota in Florida. So it's, that's very easy for us to go there. We can drive there. Our family goes there all the time. So that's just like our second home. We get down there and we just feel right at home. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's hard to pick. I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I loved New Orleans when I was there, and I've been telling Pete that he needs to go with me and we need to go back. But
yeah, Siesta Key, Florida is obviously, it's a beautiful place, beaches.
Yeah.
It's a more of a family-oriented feel, I would say. It's just like I said, Miranda mentioned.
There's not a lot of nightlife or anything like that.
Right. It's kind of a small island. There are bars and stuff to go out to. There's a lot of good restaurants. I personally like it because we do some fishing, some saltwater fishing. So that's something that I personally enjoy, obviously just relaxing on the beach with my family. So that is a kind of a special place to us. If you want to get, more adventurous, Miranda and I have traveled to Miami, Florida, South Beach specifically. That can be a wild, fun party time.
We went there before kids.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time.
That was probably one of my favorite trips.
It was, definitely. Yeah. The thing that we both talk about still to this day that we loved is you walk down the streets of South Beach and there's, 3 or 4 different languages being spoken as you're walking down the street, and there's just it's so eccentric. It's very eccentric. There's just so many people from so many different backgrounds, cultures.
It's like wild style and just so many different personalities and I don't know.
Exactly. And I love a little bit of that flash and flare. Being from the Midwest, from Cincinnati, you
don't see it here.
Yeah. Really. You see a lot of the same stuff
People
here.
Dress the same.
Exactly.
Everyone dresses the same.
In Miami, it's just wild. And there's a part
you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. And I love that wildness. I also love the wildness. We were out in Las Vegas. That was a great time.
I've actually been there a couple times because I went for a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
That was fun. So we love Vegas.
Yeah, it sounds kind of cliche, Las Vegas.
Right.
And quite honestly, I heard from so many people before going to Vegas that, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. And I'm one of those people, whenever I hear someone tell me about how great something is, I don't always believe it. I'm just like, I've heard it hyped up so many times that it's kind of like, okay,
it's like
we'll see.
Overrated.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the expectation's so high that when you get there, but we ended up traveling there and
we've been
just
to Nashville a bunch of times.
Vegas was phenomenal.
To go there. Yeah, Vegas is it's the weird thing is it's such a big city and usually big cities are like dirty. I felt like it was so clean.
Vegas, yeah. It was beautiful, and it's just a good time. I think the thing that I loved most about it is everyone's out there for the same reason, and that's just to have fun. And you really feel that.
You get that good energy feeling, which I think that's
the vibes. Yeah,
exactly.
Nashville's kind of like that too.
Nashville, Tennessee can be kind of like that. It's more I would say though, country, like
yeah, it's not
country singers, people like that are actually
it's
playing
not like
instruments.
that big city feel,
Yeah.
but it's still like everyone's there to have a good time and everyone's in a good mood and it's just fun.
Exactly. But yeah, I would say
Yeah, I'll definitely
those are
relate
the
to
two
that.
main places that we kind of travel to and have interest in going back, especially in the United States. Siesta Key, we always go there once or twice a year, and then I would love to get back out to Las Vegas once things open back up.
Yeah.
Definitely. Talk to me both about your respective careers. I'll start with you, Miranda. You're a respiratory therapist for an adult care clinic.
Yeah.
Tell me about that and your career.
Do you have respiratory therapists in Australia?
I would believe so, but I'm obviously
Okay.
not.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
because
haven't dealt with one.
I know in other countries like it's a newer profession, and I believe in the UK they don't have them. I might be wrong; they might have them now, but they didn't when I first started. But basically, it's like a branch out from nursing. It's a specialty practitioner. So we manage and treat cardiovascular diseases. So whether those are like chronic diseases, which would be like your asthma, COPD, or acute. So I actually work in the ICU, so I see a lot of acute things where people will come in, they have to have like, they had like a heart attack, so they have to have like a bypass or like we'll see overdoses. And so I do a lot of resuscitation. So right now I'm in the COVID ICU, and obviously COVID is predominantly like a respiratory illness. So those are my main patients right now. And I've worked in a lot of other settings, not just the ICU. I've worked in outpatient settings as well, the emergency room. I've done pretty much every type of ICU too. So I've worked with babies. I've been in labor and delivery. I've like been in the OR while people are having babies, which is really cool. I see everything. I take care of newborns all the way up to like withdrawing care on 99-year-olds. So I love my job. I always have been very passionate about caring for people. And I knew my whole life that I wanted to be some type of healthcare professional.
She's great at what she does, for sure.
I mean, COVID, this pandemic has been a whole new spin on it. My job has always been stressful at times. Like there's always been days where I go in and like you never know what you're gonna get, and some days are nothing, and other days are nonstop, and I leave just devastated over things that I saw. But this pandemic has put a whole new level on it, and I mean, every day has just been pretty crazy. So
Yeah,
I've just seen a lot, and I still love my job, but it's just been very challenging. At the same time, though, I'm happy that I can be like a part of the pandemic. So, because a lot of people have said to me, well, if your job's so stressful right now, like just cut back on your hours. And I can't do that. I can't sit at home knowing that people need me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's massive respect. Yeah, like obviously, not to get obviously morbid, but yeah, like that's quite respectful too, that attitude, and obviously dealing and seeing obviously patients going through what they're going through. I couldn't imagine how stressful that would be, and I don't even have the experience of what you're doing, so I can completely relate and understand that.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's hard to come home and complain about a stressful day at work for me when Miranda's dealing with that.
Yeah, but at the same time, everyone's stress is what's stressful to somebody might not be stressful to you, but you have to respect that that is stressful to them, if that makes sense. So when he vents to me, I don't like, I don't take it to where I'm like, well, your job, you don't have to see people die. Like, I don't think like that, because what's stressful in his job is stressful, So everyone has
different sides.
types and different levels of stress and different tolerances for stress.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone sees issues and problems and stresses because it relates to them, what they're going through at the time too. So I guess, and it's good that obviously you both got each other so you can obviously vent to each other and talk about your stresses as well. So yeah, I completely understand.
More open, because when I first started in healthcare and I would see when you're new too, I didn't have a lot of experience. So when I would see these arrests and stuff, like it was almost traumatizing. And I would come home and I'd like want to vent to him, and he'd be like, I can't listen to this. And because he's more squeamish, and that's why I didn't go into healthcare. So I couldn't really vent to him ever. But this year, this year he's been so great. He's very supportive.
I just don't like hearing about some of the details of the medical stuff.
And I've learned like what not to specifically tell him. I've learned to be more vague, just so I can at least vent, but I'm not like disturbing him.
Yeah, I can totally get that. Peter, tell me about your career.
Yeah, so I'd say, I mean, my career and just my interest in general, from a professional standpoint, are mostly in business. I went to university and studied business. My mom, like I said, worked for a Fortune 500 company, a corporate company. My dad had his own company, his own business on the side. So I'd say that kind of my interests fell in the same direction as them. Yeah, right now, basically, I work in a very kind of specific division of business. I'm more focused in supply chain for a company that builds aircraft engines. So we do that full time during the day, and then my interest though, and kind of just my own personal interest in business outside of that really lies in, I would say, real estate development. I really enjoy finance. So I do some of that stuff on the side, but yeah, day to day, I'm basically working in supply chain for a company that, like I said, builds aircraft engines, and sometimes in the evenings and weekends, doing real estate, flipping houses, rehabbing houses. We invest in rental properties. I love investing in the stock market, kind of playing that game a little bit, even though the stock market's a lot harder, I'd say, than real estate at times. But my general interest just lies in business. I think it's I don't know. It's almost more of a passion of mine, is just business in general. I think it's one of the great games that are played here in the world, specifically in the United States. I think it's something that anybody can go and compete at, and usually those who are the smartest and the most savvy end up coming out on top and making a lot of money. And I think that's just, for whatever reason, that just interests me. So I definitely enjoyed trying my hand at that, and would say that's where my main passion and interest lies from a professional perspective. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And knowing you too, I know you're an extremely intelligent guy and you're very switched on, and I believe you're doing great things with obviously your brother as well, getting into the real estate game. So yeah, I have massive respect for you, and I totally agree with you on how it's a great game getting in business, and you can make a ton of money out of it as well.
yeah, I think the thing there too is just that you can really take any interest that you have and turn it into an income and really chase the things that you're passionate about. And that's what I think is special about it. Like I said, Miranda, it being in healthcare, if she really saw an opportunity to better a patient's life, she could spend time going and working towards that, or developing maybe even some type of medical device that would help out. I mean, it's just, and then that's really of a passion of hers, and she could turn that into something that helps provide for her family. It does better for the world, and everyone benefits from it. Not only her, but even other people that are purchasing the product. And I don't know. I guess I was raised in a family, obviously, that had a number of entrepreneurs, and raised in the United States of America, where capitalism is it's kind of the way of life, and I've seen it do great things, and I'm a very firm believer in it, and some of the benefits that it provides. Obviously, there's always going to be challenges with any economic model, but with capitalism, and especially in the United States, I've seen it provide so much great benefit to the world. And I think there's obviously the counter argument that there's other things that happen that are bad. People get really focused on money, but any time that happens, there's always a solution to that will then still provide good and benefit to the world. So I don't know. I think it's it's just it's like I said, it's for whatever reason it interests me very much so, and I actually enjoy it, and it's something that I'm passionate
Enjoy
about.
it and
So
good at it.
yeah, thank you.
It's super hardworking.
So
Terrific. Tell me about each of your hobbies. I'll start with you, Miranda. You're a foodie and you love going to new restaurants. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, we both kind of are. We love to try new things, right?
absolutely,
I mean, when we
absolutely.
go out, when we get the rare like date night opportunity, we're always like, "Where's somewhere new we can try?" But I mean, we do have our favorites that we tend to go back to. But yeah, we just love like anytime there's a new restaurant in Cincinnati, we always try to make a point to go check it out. Um, Cincinnati has changed a lot too recently. Like just since
Yes.
I've turned 21, so the past 10 years, um, you know, because you were here and you stayed in over the Rhine, and that
Yeah.
it used to be kind of almost like dangerous to go down there. I mean, it's not like the safest place, but like they've developed it, and there's a lot of new like bars and restaurants now, which that wasn't there 10 years ago. So it's kind of fun because there's always something new opening down there. That's kind of the hot spot, and that and the banks, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, we go out to
What
dinner
about
a lot. We're Greek, obviously. Well, I'm Greek, and Miranda has some Mediterranean blood, some Italian in her. So we love
we
eating.
love food.
Yeah, we love eating at different places,
Good
trying new
food though.
things, and
Like it
yeah,
has to be good food.
a good dinner and a good drink, and that's a perfect night
Yeah.
with some good company.
Yeah. I'd say our favorite is tacos.
Yeah, gourmet tacos.
Gourmet like street tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
that's good. And Peter, your interests, obviously health, you've touched on real estate and business. You like boating, fishing. Talk to me about that and your interests.
Yeah, I would say definitely love anything outdoors. Spending time again with family, friends, my kids outside is the number one thing. So over the last couple of years, spending time, at some lakes that we go out on boats and do some water skiing or tubing or some wakeboarding has been a blast. I'd love to get my kids into that, especially as they get older. It's something we can do as a family.
And Anna loves going boating already.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, we all love to just be outside
Exactly.
in general and do anything outside. So the winters are kind of hard for us because we
Yeah.
kind of go stir crazy. Because I mean, in the summer, we even like after work, we'll try to like go to the park or go for a walk. We just love to be outside. So yeah, even Anna, she gets really excited when we go boating. She just said to me the other day, she's like, "Mommy, we haven't gone boating in a while," and I'm like, "Honey, it's winter. We can't go boating in the winter." So
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that too. I've gone obviously boating with you guys. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You've been with us.
good.
We got to
it
come
was a
back
fun
and
time.
do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Not
it's just something. The thing that I think my interests have changed, right? So when I was younger, I loved riding motocross more. It was a sport. You're on a motorcycle riding outdoor
You
motocross
still
tracks,
enjoy
jumps
that.
and turns, and I do enjoy it. But as I've gotten older, right, I have my kids, my family. I appreciate the time that I spend more with my mom and dad, my brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandmother, and those types of things. I think are more important to me as I get older. So I tend to lean more towards activities that are outdoors where I can
Be
also
with
spend time with
the whole
everyone.
family.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's why we love the beach too, because
Yeah.
we all go together and we can be outside on the beach all day, and he can go like on his own and fish for a little bit, and then come back and hang out with everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be one of those parents either. Like I will hope my kids have the same interest, and that's kind of why I always go back to boating or doing something like that. Is because I can be with everybody, but my kids can also be somewhat active, so they could do some type of sport on the water. But I could also spend time with and be there with my mom and dad, aunts and uncles, cousins, brothers and sisters. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of families here in the United States that their kids get involved in sports and they spend their entire weekends traveling to baseball tournaments or soccer tournaments or football tournaments, whatever it is. And quite honestly, I I want my kids to be active, and I'd say that's
If
where my
they-
interest lies, but I don't want
If
to
they
be
had
stuck
this like
on that.
strong drive though, where they really wanted to do soccer or something, we wouldn't not let them.
Right.
But,
Yeah, exactly. But I that's the reason why I like those types of activities, being outdoors.
mhm.
Miranda's right though. I still ride dirt bikes a fair amount outside. I definitely enjoy fishing, specifically saltwater fishing.
Well, and I just think it's really important. Well, obviously being with your family is really important, but it's important to get that time just yourself too. So, you know, he loves going dirt biking or fishing or whatever, and I encourage it because that's just healthy for him to get that time away from us too. It's all about balance. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's got to do what makes him happy and kind of let loose and relax and not having to worry about the kids. So we both like allow that time for each other.
Yep. Agreed. And obviously health too is a big interest of mine, and just making sure that I'm around and capable of supporting my family and being there for them for the long term.
And that's kind of a newer. So I've always been really into health and wellness and fitness, and I would say that you were like a little bit, but now he's just. I mean, you've made a huge lifestyle change. Just, you know, last year, well, 2019 is when he like made this huge lifestyle change and just took it to the next level. Started eating way cleaner and really, really focused on making like fitness a priority. Whereas before, I mean, he cared about it, but it wasn't like his priority. Whereas for me, I feel like it's always been a priority. And now it's nice because we encourage each other and we always cook clean because we're on the same page. So
Yeah, wonderful. And yeah, Peter, respect again. Like you're kicking some real big goals with obviously your health and fitness that I've noticed personally.
Yeah.
So.
I think health is just, it goes back to, and I'd never really had this perspective, but it's almost like the foundation it really is the foundation to life. If you don't have your health, you can't focus on other things.
Yeah. Should come first.
And that hit me hard, I would say. And in 2019, I had, like that said, that really, in my eyes and a lot of people's eyes, even doctors' eyes, was a pretty significant health issue come up. It was a neurological issue. I was traveling around to different doctors, some of quite honestly the best doctors in the United States, trying to figure out what was going on. And my time went from spending it with my family and doing what I wanted to do every day to trying to figure out how to solve this health problem. And so that, I would say, really changed my perspective. I thought, you know, if I don't have this health, this foundation, then my whole life is going to be centered around trying to get healthy. So why not just do that? And then that'll allow for everything else in life. And quite honestly, I've seen, and I think probably more benefit than I've seen out of anything else in my life is getting healthy, eating the right foods, exercising. It pays dividends. It's like compound interest. You know, I have more energy than I've ever had in my life. I wake up every day, can do whatever I want at a very high performing rate, quite honestly, for 12 to 14 hours a day, and I just feel vibrant, and I feel energetic and full of life, and I feel like that's what's given me the most ability to do well for my family and to give my kids great attention. It's just, like I said, it really truly does pay dividends once you get that down and you kind of figure out what works for your body.
And I think a lot of people, and this isn't at all like to be an insult to you or anyone, but I just think it's natural to think like, you know, nothing's going to happen to you. Like so many people, especially
from a health perspective,
like just our generation, I think.
You take it for granted.
Yeah, you take it for granted and you don't really think about the things you're putting in your body. And then it takes like something major to happen to where you realize, okay, it matters. It matters what I'm eating. It matters if I'm active. So.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get us wrong. We still enjoy plenty of food and drinks, but
it's all about moderation.
90% of the time, our foundation is we eat good, and then obviously you still gotta have your
times where you eat what you want, though.
Yep.
And drink what you want to keep you on track, and it makes you appreciate it more too.
Absolutely.
Like every time we go out now, like we were saying, we're foodies. Like when we do go out and try something new, we can enjoy it knowing that 99% of the time we put clean food in our body, and then when we go eat it, it's like that much better.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
It makes it extra special for sure.
It does.
Yeah, that's really great feedback and insights, and I can totally understand that and respect that because it's 100% spot on.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, where do you see, and this is both your opinions, personal opinions, where do you see the US position for the future?
The United States?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll answer that a little bit.
Well,
so right now,
we have a new president.
yeah. So right now, there's a lot of churn and just a lot of, I'd say, it seems like a lot of like the news media here in the United States, like they have to build a story, right? They have to gauge and get users or people's interest. They have to create a headline.
Right.
I'm very, very extremely optimistic about the future of the United States of America. The news and what information travels around the world may not reflect that.
The news outlets, just everything's doom and gloom. And
yeah,
they've just focused on.
They focus on a pretty small group of people and try to, externate that out and make it sound like that's what the majority of the population is doing or thinking. Exactly. But I have hope, and the reason why I have hope for the future of the United States and for our country is because I see a lot of young people in this country, and I talk with a lot of younger people. When I say young, I would say ages 18 to 35 to, even early 40s, that aren't necessarily as focused on their political beliefs as they are about caring for one another.
Humanity.
And exactly.
And the environment. Yeah. I feel like that's a big focus, and maybe it's just because I'm not that old, so maybe I didn't realize it before, but I don't remember that being as big of a focus 5 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the younger people, and I see it in a lot of the younger people, we're willing to listen to each other.
Yeah.
And we're willing to come to an agreement. We're willing to hear each other's sides. I feel like, quite honestly, and not to just put this across all of our older generation here in the United States, but people that are, 55 to 70, they seem more set in their ways, and they're more apt to voice their opinion, to not listen to the other side. And I think that's sometimes the voice that may be heard more. So again, I'm very optimistic. I'm personally, Miranda and I would say are both very we're both very conservative from a political standpoint. More so just our traditional beliefs, but we're also very open-minded.
Yes.
So we will listen to anyone that brings a good logical perspective to us. But that combined with, the fact that most people, or not most people, but a lot of the younger generation in the United States is willing to listen to both sides. They're open-minded. They want to move the country forward.
Right. That
combined with the fact that I'm very much a citizen of this country and a believer in this country. I'm a proud Greek, but I'm also very proud to be an American. That combined with the fact that I see some of the hardest working individuals I've ever come across in this country. Some of the people that move here, even from other countries, to start a business, to start a company, to run with a great idea. This is the land of it's the land of opportunity here.
For sure. And I will say, with the pandemic and COVID, I've seen so much good come out of it. There's been so many people that have just helped one another, and I don't know. I feel like I've seen so much good come from people, more than I've ever seen in my life through this pandemic. Just people helping people that they don't even know.
You're absolutely right. And so, again, my personal opinion is I'm extremely optimistic about the future of the United States of America. I tend to tune out the media. I think Miranda does too. We talk to our neighbors. We talk to people in our community. We talk to friends.
I watch the news, but just because I want to know what's going on, right? But I try not to just believe everything either. Like he's saying, like the news outlets, they just show one side all the time, it's all negative. And so I like to read multiple different sources and, like he said, talk to people, and that's how I get my information.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's yeah, I totally agree with you on that. It's obviously when you see different sources and you read different sources, it always have different kind of angles of where it's coming from,
Yeah,
and then you can make a better judgmental decision on it.
exactly.
So yeah, and knowing both of you, you're both very open-minded. Obviously, you understand, you see different perspectives as well. So yeah, I totally acknowledge that.
yeah.
Where do you see yourselves? Yeah, go.
I was going to say, I think that's one of the most important things in life is to have your opinions, have your thoughts, but you've got to be open to new information. And
Yeah, just like you said earlier, that's how you grow as a
yeah,
person. And I mean, if your beliefs change, I don't feel like that makes you like a flake or anything. I just feel like people grow, and when you learn new things, like sometimes you change your perspective. So it's always good to
Yeah,
be open.
absolutely.
yeah, definitely. And we're always growing, we're always learning. I'm learning things like you both are every day, like things that I didn't even know existed. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
always wanting to
The
learn
more you
like you
know, the more
guys.
you realize you don't know.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, where do you see yourselves, obviously, a young family in the next 10 years?
Well, let's see, the next 10 years, I think we definitely want to have another kid or two, right?
Like 3 or 4 more. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's add to the clan.
he's not the one that has to have them, but and I mean we're both very like career focused. Specifically, I don't know like if I'll stay bedside in my career, but I know I'll probably just stay in the same type of profession. And then where do you see yourself?
Yeah, I'd say from a family perspective, definitely more kids. Definitely spending more and more time with my family as I'm into my 30s now, so as I get a little bit older. And then from a professional standpoint, I would say continuing to grow, both within my corporate kind of career, but then outside of that, we definitely can pursue that interest a little bit more.
Yeah.
Grow our kind of our side business, see where that takes us. Do some maybe do some larger real estate deals or real estate development, and just kind of coast through and see what happens. I'm not the type of person that has a exact step-by-step plan mapped out. I've never been that person, but I will always work hard
But
to
you're
get to my goal.
goal-oriented.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
very
Get towards my
goal-oriented.
goals. So just progress
I
professionally
think it's
and
good to be
personally.
like goal oriented, but you don't want to be such a planner that if something doesn't go exactly your way, you are upset about it and stressed out. So it's like goal planning, but like flexible kind of schedule, I guess.
Yeah,
Of,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, spending time with family and just pursuing our interests and I would say enjoying life, right? So those are the most important things.
for sure. And enjoying life is very important.
Wonderful. And from a personal perspective, I look forward to obviously watching you both with the young family grow, and hopefully get to come over there and see you guys again soon.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I hope
Absolutely.
so.
We would love to
Look forward
travel
to
down
it.
to visit you too. We gotta find time to do that.
Yeah.
it's always open. You're always welcome. So yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, Peter Miranda, thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it. Sorry. I hope you both have a great year ahead in 2021, and thank you again for coming on.
Thank you, Nick. It was a pleasure. It was a good time. So it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Echo what Miranda said. It was an absolute pleasure coming on the podcast. I wish you the best of luck with this new adventure in 2021 and all the blessings from our family to you. And we hope to get together soon in person to have some real drinks and some real good food together. So
Yeah,
we love you.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, have an absolute great year this year. We're excited for you too.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, have a great day, and I'll speak to you guys soon.
All right,
Thanks,
sounds
Nick.
good, Nick. See ya.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.